Imagine a fortress not built, but born. A citadel carved deep into the heart of a sleeping giant, a dormant volcano. This was Pyrestone Hold, for generations. Its kings hallowed halls and forges from the mountain's core, trusting its slumbering fire to be their eternal shield. Here, stone walls stood in for banners, ancient lava tubes became winding corridors, and the mountain itself was both fortress and ancestor. And into this world of stone, Princess Kaelin was born. While other royals were tutored in poetry and the delicate art of diplomacy, Kaelin's lessons were far more primal. She learned to read the stories hidden in fault lines, to interpret the whispers carried on echoes through cavernous halls. She possessed a rare and ancient gift, a power known as Lithic Empathy. It was the ability to feel the very emotions of the earth, to hear the long-forgotten memories locked deep inside the stone. For Kaelin, the world was alive in a way no one else understood. The granite beneath her boots would hum with a quiet contentment. A shard of obsidian might whisper of the furious heat that forged it millennia ago, and the dark, sturdy basalt would murmur warnings when stress ran through its crystalline structure. Her connection was so profound that the mountain felt less like a home and more like a part of her own being. Then, one night, as the entire citadel slept under a blanket of silence, the walls began to scream. It wasn't a sound you could hear with your ears, but a feeling of raw, visceral agony that shot through Kaelin's senses. Cracks that had been dormant for centuries suddenly vibrated with a palpable terror. The massive pillars supporting the grand halls throbbed with a frantic, desperate panic. The mountain's ancient memories, usually a gentle current, surged through Kaelin in a tidal wave of heat and suffocating dread. The volcano was waking up. Without a moment's hesitation, she ran, her heart pounding in time with the tremors shaking the fortress. She found her father, King Dareth, the stoic bearer of the Iron Crown, poring over maps in the throne room. She explained what she felt: the terror of the stone, the rising heat, the undeniable truth that their home was on the brink of catastrophe. But the king, a man who trusted steel and strategy over what he called childish fancies, refused to listen. He slammed his fist on the stone table. "This mountain has slept for centuries," he declared, his voice echoing with stubborn pride. "It is our birthright, our legacy. We will not flee like cowards based on a feeling." His advisors nodded in agreement, their faces set in grim determination. They saw only a fortress to be defended, not a living entity in pain. Yet the stone told Kaelin a different story. The mountain wasn't angry. It wasn't trying to destroy them. It was sick. Something was deeply wrong. Defying the court and her father's direct order, Kaelin knew she couldn't just stand by. She had to find the source of this suffering. Her empathy guided her down, deeper and deeper into the forbidden levels of the citadel, the ancient, abandoned mining tunnels that predated even the first kings. History had forgotten these dark passageways, but the stone had not. As she descended, the air grew thick and heavy. The rock around her groaned, not just with pressure, but with a foul, spreading corruption. It was a black, viscous mineral pulsing with a sickly light, like a festering wound deep within the earth. The miners of old, in their greed, had struck something unnatural. Kaelin could feel its name whispered by the poisoned rock. Void slag, it was a parasitic substance, a geological cancer that was slowly poisoning the mountain's veins, blocking the natural, healthy flow of heat and pressure from the planet's core. The truth hit her with the force of a landslide. The volcano wasn't preparing to destroy the kingdom. It was trying to purge itself of the poison. The eruption was not an act of aggression. It was a desperate, convulsive attempt to heal. As the tremors grew more violent and magma began to seep through newly formed fissures in the lower levels, Kaelin faced an impossible choice. She could try to convince her stubborn people to abandon their ancestral home, a home they believed was invincible. Or she could attempt the unthinkable, heal the mountain itself before it tore itself and them apart. She chose the mountain. Using her lithic empathy as a guide, Kaelin began to speak to the earth, not with words, but with action. She felt the weak points, the poisoned veins. With strategic, controlled rockfalls, she collapsed the tunnels tainted by the void slag, cutting off the corruption's spread. She listened to the hum of the magma and found ancient, forgotten lava tubes, redirecting the rising pressure away from the citadel's foundations. She found chambers where ancient stone rituals had once been performed, and using her own life force as a conduit, she began to draw the seeping corruption toward a single isolated chamber deep in the mountain's gut. The effort was immense. It threatened to consume her. The mountain's raw, unfiltered memories flooded her mind. She felt the fury of primordial firestorms, witnessed the slow, grinding birth of continents, and bore the crushing weight of ages. The sheer scale of it all nearly shattered her consciousness, but Kaelin endured. She grounded herself in one simple, unwavering truth. The mountain was alive, and all life could be healed. She focused on the steady, rhythmic pulse of the earth's heart, separating the pain of the poison from the lifeblood of the stone. Finally, with the corruption contained and the pressure reaching a critical point, she knew she had done all she could. Her work was finished. Racing back to the surface, her body aching and her spirit drained, she found chaos. Magma was now breaching the lower forges. Panic had finally broken through her father's pride. In a final, desperate act of trust, Kaelin didn't argue. She didn't say, "I told you so." She simply led. And this time, seeing the fire in their own halls, her people followed. She guided them out of the citadel onto the high ridges overlooking their home, just as the volcano released its pent-up energy. It wasn't the cataclysmic explosion they had feared. It was a controlled, focused eruption. A brilliant pillar of fire and ash shot straight into the sky from the chamber where Kaelin had gathered the poison, a colossal fever breaking. The blast incinerated the void slag, cleansing the mountain without destroying the surrounding land. When the ash finally settled, dusting the world in a soft gray blanket, Pyrestone Hold still stood. The smoke cleared to reveal the fortress, scarred but intact. The mountain slept once more, but this time its sleep was peaceful. The stone hummed with a deep, weary, but profound gratitude that only Kaelin could hear. In the days that followed, Kaelin was crowned. Not just as a queen to rule a kingdom, but as the stone speaker, the first ruler in her long lineage to truly listen to the land rather than simply conquer it. And from that day forward, in Pyrestone Hold, no wall was ever raised, no foundation ever laid, without first asking the earth for its permission. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from worlds beyond our own. We'll see you in the next one.